The call from my CFO came while I was supposedly dying in a Buenos Aires hospital bed. Food poisoning from bad shellfish. Nothing fatal, just 3 days of misery and 4 fluids. I'd told my assistant to handle things, keep it quiet. No need to worry anyone. Patricia, Martin's voice was strange, choked. I'm so sorry for your loss. My loss? I croaked, still weak but definitely alive. We just heard about your father. Heart attack in Argentina. The funeral is. Martin, I'm not dead. Silence. Then, what? I'm in the hospital with food poisoning. Very much alive. Who told you I was dead? Your daughter. Rebecca. She called an emergency board meeting. Said you died yesterday morning. I sat up so fast the 4 nearly ripped out. She what? She's here now. In the conference room. With lawyers and a death certificate. She's presenting the succession plan. My daughter. My protege. The one I'd been grooming to take over the company. In 10 years, when I retired. Not now. Not like this. Martin, listen carefully. Do not let that meeting end. Stall. I'm on my way. Patricia, I don't understand. My daughter is trying to steal my company by pretending I'm dead. Call security. Call our lawyers. But keep her there. I ripped out the 4 myself. The nurses tried to stop me, but nothing short of actual death was keeping me in that bed. My assistant, Carmen, booked the first flight back to Chicago while I threw on clothes and grabbed my passport. 6 hours. That's all I had to get from Buenos Aires to Chicago before my daughter succeeded in corporate patricide. During the flight, I called my attorney, Richard Townsend. He answered on the second ring. Patricia, Rebecca said you were dead. Yeah, that's the scam. What she filed? Hold on. Keyboard clicking. Jesus Christ. She filed a death certificate with the county. Initiated transfer protocols for your shares. Filed an emergency succession claim with the board. The death certificate is fake. Obviously, since you're talking to me. But Patricia, it looks real. Argentine official seals, hospital letterhead, the works. She knew I was traveling alone. Knew I'd be out of communication. The pieces clicked together. Richard, she's been planning this. The board meeting is still going. Martin's been stalling, asking for documentation, requesting delays for other board members to arrive. But she's pushing hard. How long can he stall? Maybe another 2 hours. She's getting suspicious. I'll be there. I spent the flight going through emails on my phone. Little things I'd missed now screamed warnings. Rebecca asking about succession insurance. Questions about the Argentine tax system. Her sudden interest in my travel itinerary. She'd even suggested the restaurant. Oh, Mom, you have to try their seafood special. The food poisoning wasn't an accident. Carmen met me at O'Hare with a car. The office is in chaos, she said. Half the employees are crying, the other half are confused. Rebecca's been telling everyone you wanted her to take over immediately if anything happened. What else has she done? Frozen your corporate accounts, pending probate. Changed the email systems. She's already moved into your office. My office. Where I'd taught her everything. Where she'd cried after her divorce, promising to dedicate herself to the company. Where I'd foolishly given her more and more power. We pulled up to Hartley Industries at 3:47 p.m. The board meeting had been going for 4 hours. Security tried to stop me. Ma'am, the building is closed for a private. I'm Patricia Hartley. Check your records. The guard's face went white. But, they said you were. Dead. Do I look dead to you? He buzzed us through, hands shaking. The elevator ride to the 40th floor felt eternal. My reflection looked rough. Hospital pallor, wrinkled clothes, fury burning in my eyes. Good. Let them see exactly what resurrection looks like. Outside the boardroom, I could hear Rebecca's voice. Smooth, professional, fake grieving. Mother would have wanted the transition to be seamless. She always said the company came first. That's why I've prepared these immediate action items. I pushed open the door. The room froze. 12 board members, my executive team, 3 lawyers I didn't recognize, and my daughter. My lying, scheming daughter, standing at the head of the table in a black suit I'd bought her, holding a presentation clicker in perfectly manicured hands. Hello, Rebecca. The clicker hit the floor. Mom. Her face cycled through emotions. Shock. Fear. Then, horrifyingly, calculation. Surprise, I said, walking to my chair, where she was standing. I got better. This is impossible, she whispered. You were dead. According to whom? I pulled out my phone. Let's see. According to this very official-looking death certificate, I died of a heart attack yesterday at 7:23 a.m. Interesting, since the hospital has records of me complaining about the jello at 7:30. Martin spoke first. Patricia, thank God. We were devastated. I'm sure you were. Especially since my loving daughter forgot to mention she never actually saw a body. Rebecca found her voice. There must have been a mistake. The hospital called. No, they didn't. Richard had been busy on his phone. I just confirmed with Buenos Aires General. No one from their staff contacted you. No one died matching Patricia's description. And this death certificate? The seal is fake. The doctor's name is fictitious. The serial number belongs to someone who died in 1987. The board members were looking at Rebecca now. Really looking. I can explain, she started. Please do. I sat in my chair, she stumbled backward. Explain how you got a fake death certificate. Explain how you filed fraudulent documents with the county. Explain how you initiated a hostile takeover of my company while I was sick in a hospital bed. I thought you were dead. Someone called. Who? I don't remember. You don't remember who told you your mother was dead? Her lawyer, a sharp-looking man who suddenly seemed to realize he was on the wrong side, spoke up. Ms. Hartley, perhaps we should postpone this discussion until… Until what? Until she finishes stealing my company? No, I think we'll discuss it now. In front of the board, she tried to defraud. I turned to the room. Ladies and gentlemen, my daughter didn't just lie about my death. She planned it. The restaurant recommendation, the specific dish she insisted I try, the fake death certificate that would have taken weeks to create. This was premeditated corporate fraud. You can't prove that, Rebecca said. Can I? Carmen stepped forward with a laptop. Security pulled her computer records. She searched Argentine death certificate template 6 weeks ago. She researched food poisoning symptoms. She bought a burner phone that matches the number the hospital called from. Rebecca's lawyer was packing his briefcase. Where are you going? She hissed. Away from this, he said. This is criminal fraud. I'm not losing my license for you. You said it would work. I said if you had proper documentation, and if your mother was actually deceased, the succession would be legal. This is neither. The board was murmuring now. Board member Janet Morrison, who'd known me for 20 years, looked disgusted. Rebecca, how could you? She was going to give it all away. Rebecca exploded. All her charity projects, her employee ownership plans. I built my life around this company. I deserve to run it. In 10 years, I said quietly. When I retired, it was always going to be yours. 10 years? I'm 35. You want me to wait until I'm 45. I wanted you to be ready. To learn patience. To understand that leadership isn't taken, it's earned. I earned it. I've done everything you asked. Everything. Except the most important thing. You never learned that power isn't about position. It's about trust. And you just destroyed 20 years of trust for a hostile takeover. Richard stepped forward. The police are on their way. Filing a false death certificate is fraud. The forged documents are forgery. The attempt to steal corporate assets is embezzlement. We're looking at 20 years minimum. Rebecca's face finally crumbled. Mom, please. I'm your daughter. My daughter is apparently dead to me. Isn't that ironic? The police arrived as she was still begging. Professional, quiet, efficient. They read her rights while the board watched in stunned silence. This isn't over, she said as they cuffed her. I know where all the bodies are buried in this company. The only body you tried to bury was mine, I replied. And I dug myself out. After they left, I addressed the board. Apologized for the drama. Assured them of the company's stability. Promised a full investigation. Janet stayed after the others left. How are you really? Exhausted. Heartbroken. Furious. I stared at the presentation Rebecca had prepared. She'd already redesigned the logo. I gave her everything. Maybe that was the problem. She was right. I'd handed Rebecca opportunities, positions, power. But I'd never made her earn them. Never let her fail and learn from it. I'd created a monster who thought she deserved an empire at 35. The trial was swift. The evidence overwhelming. Rebecca took a plea deal, 5 years, minimum security. I didn't attend the sentencing. Couldn't watch them take away my daughter, even if she'd tried to bury me alive in paperwork. She wrote me a letter from prison. Not an apology. Rebecca never did master those. An explanation. You were never going to really retire. You love that company more than you loved Dad, more than you love me. I just wanted what you had. The power to matter. I wrote back once. You always mattered. Until you decided matching meant taking instead of building. Until you decided love was weakness and family was just another corporate ladder to climb. I never sent it. The company thrived without her. The employee ownership plan she'd mocked went through. The charity projects she'd called wasteful fed thousands. The board, shaken by how close they'd come to fraud, implemented new succession protocols. And I trained new protégés. Taught them slowly, carefully. Made them earn every step. Watched for the hunger that turns ambition into entitlement. Because I'd learned the hard way. The person most likely to bury you in business isn't your competition. It's the one you taught to dig. Rebecca gets out next year. Early release, good behavior. Her lawyer contacted me about a position at the company. Any position. She needs work for parole. I said no. Not because I don't forgive her. I do in my way. But forgiveness doesn't mean handing her another shovel. She proved what she'd do with it. And I'm not ready to be buried again. Not when I have so much left to build. Not when there are people who understand that true power isn't seized in a boardroom while someone lies dying. It's earned over decades, built on trust, and protected from those who would kill for it. Even if those people are the ones you'd have died for. Especially then.